Hi there and welcome to today's episode. I'm Psaila. Thank you for being here. Today we're going to be speaking about what research should you do prior to a networking event. Now, why is that important? People go, well, I don't know who's going to be at a networking event. Well, if you go to something like a BNI, which is a Business Networking International, or a Chamber of Commerce, or maybe a BEC, which is a Business Enterprise Center, or like I said, a particular Chamber of Commerce, whether it's a US Australia Chamber of Commerce, whether it's a state Chamber of Commerce, or Chamber of Commerce maybe in your suburb, most of those chambers have already got the members that are a part of the networking event. BNI's got it for sure, Chamber's got it for sure, and most of BEC's got it. So the best part about it is you can actually do research on the business owners that are more than likely going to be there, because if they're usually a member, usually they're going to be at that event, right? Now, here's the first thing that I like to do. First of all, I look up their website and I go, okay, cool, it's going to be an after 5 networking event, or maybe it's going to be a breakfast networking event, and I find out first of all about the business. Who is it that's going? Well, and if I'm after a particular style of business that I'm going to that networking event maybe to meet and discuss, right? If I've got a particular type of genre or niche that I'm heading towards to do business, I find out about that business. Now, you don't have to find out about every single business that's there, but it's not too hard to find out about 15 or 20 businesses that are going to attend the event, or 30 businesses. Now, if you're going, and there's 300 businesses going, obviously you want to maybe narrow it down to the genre or the niche that you're after. So find out about the business, and it's really simple. You can just make some notes. You can actually make notes on your phone. So if you meet that business, you can say, hey, I know a little bit about you, right? And you can, open that up and start that conversation. Number 2 is find out about the business owner. So usually the business has got the owner obviously there that more than likely is going to be there, or maybe a representative of the business, and find out a little bit about them. You can get their name literally and put it into LinkedIn and find out their profile, a little bit about their history, or you can actually just look up their name on Google and so many things can come up. Or you can check out Facebook or Instagram and it'll just give you a bit more social background behind them. Now, I'm not saying that you want to be a stalker, right? It's not about that at all. It's about finding out the information so you can find out what you've got in common. So as an example, if somebody's maybe an avid fisherman, or maybe they like gardening, and you find out that when you meet that business owner, you can say, hey, I was checking out your profile and I just noticed that you like gardening. Well, I like gardening too. And you can start that, commonality conversation. Now, number 3 is what can you engage them with? In other words, maybe what's their passion? When I go to a networking event, very rarely do I go, so what do you do for work? I go, so tell me, what do you like doing when you're not working? What's something that you like? Because I want to find something that lights them up. Or I say, why did you get into, if they say, hey, I'm a builder. I'm like, so why did you get into building? Well, what was really passionate for you to get into that? Oh, well, my dad started this, and I took over from there, and I really love this, or I love building memories that are called houses, whatever it may be. This is something that you're looking at. How do I start to engage in the conversation rather than it being a little, oh, what do you do? Well, I'm a, accountant. Cool, what do you do? Well, I'm a bricklayer, and it just feels a little bit kind of weird, right? You want to have commonality, yeah? Number 4 is once you've done that research, you want to know how can you help them. And here's what I mean by this. Hey, you know what? I was just checking this out on your website, and I just noticed that you're after these type of clients, or your product sells like this to maybe these people. I know as an example, if you're you sell dog food as an example, you can say, well, a friend of mine's just got a new puppy. Is it okay if I maybe make an introduction and you guys can go with that? Now, if you haven't researched this and you come across somebody and you don't know even what they do, well, it's hard to find that. And I tell you, at a networking event, when you can refer somebody straight away off the bat and you go, I think that it's worth at least a conversation. You're not saying it's guaranteed or it's 100%, but you're saying at least it starts a conversation. Let me tell you, your credibility goes through the roof, especially then if you want to say, hey, would you mind getting together so I'd tell you a little bit about what I do at that. See, at a networking event, it's important to understand what they do. Not, you don't need to blow your own trumpet and go, hey, this is all the stuff that I do. It's inevitable that they're going to ask you that, but most importantly, you want to know more about them. And what I do with that before I go to that is I write it down. So I research it, whether I take notes online or I take notes on my phone or write it down. What this does is it increases your chances of successful networking, 100-fold. Why? Because now you already know about the person even before you've started with them. And you know what I do? I actually take a little photo, of that business or that website. So when somebody hands me the card, I go, oh yeah, cool, I remember who it is. It just refreshes my memory. And if they've got an image of them on there, I usually do that. So when I recognize somebody with their face, I go, oh, you're from XYZ business, is that right? And they're like, oh, how did you know that? Well, I did a little bit of research before I came. I'd like to, know who I'm speaking with so I can, really add to the conversation. And this is something that I can tell you 99.9% of businesses don't do. So I want to share this with you. Have fun applying this. And you don't have to do it with, 500 businesses. Just try it with half a dozen and see how you go. Just experiment and enjoy it. I know it's going to help your chances, to begin the conversation with the business owner when you know about them. And remember, at a networking event, it's not about you, it's about them. And the law of reciprocity. Give first, ask later. I'm Nick Psaila. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I look forward to seeing you on the upside.